Choose. Recorded live.
Blake, you want to do the Twilight Zone intro for everybody on Travis and Vic's Drunken Horror Adventures? Can you do a Rod Serling intro?
Probably not. You're entering a dimension of not only sight and sound, but of mind. Next stop,
Very good job.
Twilight Zone.
On Travis and Vic's Drunken Horror Adventures, along with Blake, our 90% of the time co-host anymore. Been 90% even low.
Yeah. What is that? That's 90%. That's a long time. I'm sure you guys are getting tired of me.
Nah, never that. Actually, and this one's going to be fun because it works out perfect. There's three of us, 3 episodes we're talking about. If people didn't realize, we're talking about the Twilight Zone. 3 episodes since tomorrow's marathon day, and I have some good news about that I'll share with you all shortly. Twilight Zone, the original series, ran from 1959 to 1964, so our 3 episodes are contained in that original series. But the good thing about the Twilight Zone marathon tomorrow is I know Sci-Fi wasn't doing it, but there is a network called Decades that is doing one, and it's actually a local channel to us, Vic.
Well, that's good. Maybe I'll watch it.
I doubt it. But it's 21. It's 21.5 on the antenna. I actually picked it up today. I realized we had it, so I was like, yeah. Which is funny because I probably, unless I can get really good reception on it, I probably won't even watch it on the channel. I'll just follow along on Netflix, you know. Whatever episode they're playing at the time.
Yeah, because you guys don't have. You got rid of cable, right? You were like, fuck that.
Yeah, I cut that cord a long time ago.
Excuse me.
Yeah, fuck the cable. And actually, I got rid of Sling until basketball season, or football season. So, you know, I don't have any kind of cable other than Hulu and Netflix right now, which obviously don't count. So,
well, you know, Netflix is awesome. I mean, I'm still new to it. I've only had it since last September. So, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I've watched some good shit and some not so good shit, but I've also got Amazon Prime. It's got some good shit, too. So.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, I need to get that. That's the one thing that I'm lacking as far as like streaming services. So, and I still need to watch the movie. What is it? The Monster Project? Is that what it was called? The Monster Factory?
The Monster Project. You've got to watch that shit. It is everything you guys love. It's got gratuitous violence. There's some nudity. There's lots of fucking blood. There's shaky camera stuff, but if you can get past the fact that seems dated and cliched, the rest of the film is a fucking masterpiece. So.
Good deal, man. Well, I'll tell you what. So to get into the Twilight Zone, who wants to go first with their rundown of their episode? Because obviously, I think we all watched each other's episodes and we watched our own, so that it adds up to 3 episodes at about 25 minutes apiece. So not too long. Didn't take a whole lot of research, at least. Anyone want to volunteer?
Oh, let's let Vic go first since he was absolutely just adamant about watching it.
Yes, let's go negative before we go positive. Vic, I got to let you go first. Vic got saddled, and again, I did not do this to him. It was the Twilight Zone random episode generator that did this. So I apologize. It does this shit to me whenever I want to watch a random episode. I always get something stupid, so I get mad.
Mr. Dingle the Strong, 1961.
What is this, season 3? Is it season 3? It should say underneath the...
It's season 2, episode 19, I believe.
There you go.
Season 2, episode 19.
Is this the second time we've seen Burgess Meredith at this point, I think, in this series? I think this is the second time we've seen Burgess Meredith. He is... Vic, and just for your edification, I know Blake will know this right off the bat, but Mr. Dingle, that's Burgess Meredith, he was Rocky's trainer in the first 3 Rockies.
And the Penguin in the Batman television series.
Yes, that's something else you would have watched, Vic, I think.
Yes.
So that's where you may know him. And did you notice Don Rickles as well?
Yeah, Don Rickles. Yeah, he was an asshole in this.
Yes, he was. And this is before anybody knew who the fuck he was. So it's pretty cool to, I love those little connections from Twilight Zone because you get all sorts of people that we'll find out, become stars later on. But I apologize, Vic. Continue.
You're good. I mean, That's about all you want. Anyway, so to give a quick little rundown, one of them is Mr. Dingle, who is a cleaner in his failure. He listens and his tantrums.
Big, are you using a headset or something? Because you're breaking up bad.
Yeah, it's awful.
Blake, yeah. Fuck, I can barely. You're going in and out the whole time on there.
Yeah, I hear you guys. I hear you fine, Travis. It's just Vic. It's like every other word is like, I don't know what the hell.
Are you in E-Town, Vic?
Yeah.
Fucking middle of nowhere. All right. Vic, I'll take over your rundown for now. If you want to chime in, you can chime in whenever we get to the point of your opinions on it. Okay, so one of them's Mr. Dingle. Okay, I'll start over. In a small neighborhood bar, you got a number of patrons, like 3 or 4, who are in there, and one of them's Mr. Dingle, again played by Burgess Meredith. And he's a vacuum cleaner salesman who's pretty much a failure at life and his profession. He's listening to people having fits over fucking baseball, and why Don Rickles and this mustache dude are arguing. They ask his opinion, and he gives them kind of a stupid opinion, or he doesn't even really get his opinion out, I feel like, and then Don Rickles punches him in the face and knocks him over the bar. I'm like, damn, that was fucking rude, wasn't it, Blake?
Hell yeah.
He just go around fucking knocking people over bars for no reason. He didn't even have a fucking reason, dick. So anyway, as this is going on, you get this horrible, horrible 2-headed alien that comes into the room, and the other patrons can't see him. And it's horrible looking because it's 1960, I guess. And
61, yeah.
Yeah, 61, and this shit is just bad. And it looks like Lost in Space or Forbidden Planet, something like that. It's just bad looking. And I'm sure they kind of knew it looked bad because this is a comedy episode, but then again, maybe they did. Maybe they thought it looked good. I don't know, man. It just made me laugh. And I realize it's a product of the time, but there's got to be, like, they can't have taken it seriously because this episode doesn't feel like it was taken seriously at all. So they see Dingle, and they decide they're going to conduct an experiment. Why they were fucking with us is beyond me, but I could say the same thing about the asshole probers that are out there, right? And they endow Dingle with the strength of 300 men. And Dingle, he picks up his vacuum to leave, and he kind of like can tell that he picks it up a lot easier, which is strange to me because if I had the strength of 300 men, I'm pretty sure I could just like throw that vacuum like it was nothing, but he just barely, was like, this seems different. So already, Dingle's a moron. So, like I said, at first he's shocked by his newfound strength. But soon he becomes enamored with it. Like, he really likes it. He starts showing off for everybody. He appears on television cameras later on. This is after he pervs on some girl trying to sell her a vacuum on a park bench. What's funny is whenever he was talking to her, he was like, don't worry, I'm not a masher. What the fuck is a masher?
A pervert, I would imagine, something like a masher or a crazy person.
Yeah, for 1960, or 61, I just have no idea. But yeah, pretty interesting terminology there. And so yeah, he's on there. He's doing all these different things in the bar and showing feats of strength, and it's all stupid shit, like throwing a football for a kid. Basically, it's all useless things, and that's kind of where this is going. When the aliens find him there again, the 2-headed aliens are disappointed that Dingle had used the strength to just show off for others and didn't do anything for himself. But he did knock Don Rickles out and smash a fucking cigar into his face, so he got a little revenge there, which that would have been the first thing I did, just me personally, after he knocked me over a fucking bar. So they take it away from him after he tries to lift the entire bar. And so now he's weak again, and, he's nothing special once again. But as this happens, you get 2 other aliens. Are these things kids? I mean, because they
They're
look like kids
with
to me.
mustaches. They're kids with my mustache and adult men voices.
Yeah, as soon as I fucking saw these two, it jumped the shark for me. It wasn't going well anyway, but I saw these two and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I've seen this episode before, but I've avoided it for a long time because I knew it was bad, or at least in my opinion. Not to give away my fucking rating, but I've avoided it for a long time. Look, when the Twilight Zone does comedy, it's not good. And this is sci-fi comedy. It's not good. But anyway, so those other set of aliens, they have the same issue. They're like, oh, well, let's give him intelligence since he's stupid too. And so they increase his intelligence. And just how long he'll have the gift is kind of left to the viewer's imagination. And we get the outro from Rod Serling where he's like, you know, he'll only have it for so long. There was no moral to this episode. It was not your typical, you know, most of these Twilight Zones, they have some sort of end game. There's a point to it. There's a twist. There's something to it. And this is just goofy slapstick comedy that's not even funny. So if it gets a 6.9 on IMDb, and that's way too fucking high, and for all of you that have listened to the show before, you know I love the Twilight Zone. You know I love it. But, you know, when this, I don't know if it was funny when it aired March 3rd, 1961, but watching it in 2018, it is just atrocious. So, hey, we're on its 57th anniversary today. And actually, let me give you a little trivia in case you didn't, you know, you needed it, which you probably don't, about this episode. This was Douglas Spencer's final acting role before he died in 1950. I think he was the other guy that was in the fight, right? Or the one arguing with Don Rickles.
Yeah, I think so.
The phone book that Mr. Dingle rips in half is the June 1960 edition of the L.A. telephone directory. Rod Serling had previously used the name Mr. Dingle for the main character called Mr. Denton in the filmed episode of The Twilight Zone, Mr. Denton on Doomsday. But obviously they changed that. In this episode, many others like, will the real alien please stand up? I'm pretty sure it's called Will the real Martian please stand up, but whatever. A majority of the actors are smoking due to the demand of the Twilight Zone sponsors, which was a cigarette company. So not a lot of good trivia there. At some point or another, Rod Serling actually wanted to do a fucking TV show with this, and I think he probably thought better of that after it wasn't so good. Well, anyway, I'll go ahead and throw out my rating before these two give theirs. We give 4 machetes on this show, or 4 chainsaws, or 4 Freddy gloves, and this one gets a half of a machete for me. And the only reason it gets the half that it gets is because Burgess Meredith and Don Rickles are in it. That's it. That is the only reason it gets a half for me. Otherwise, fuck it. I would skip this on any marathon ever. So, that's me. Blake, you're up.
Okay, yeah, Rickles and Meredith were the best part of this episode. The aliens were hokey looking. It was ridiculous. I think, any other film from the 1950s with a similar budget would have produced better aliens. And I mean, I love Rod Serling. No disrespect to him, but this episode was not what I'm talking about. And the reason that I'm giving it as high as I am is because of Meredith mostly. Rickles was good too, but I'm giving it one Freddy glove out of a possible 4? Is that our regular rating normally?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm giving it 1 Freddy glove out of 4. So.
Trashed. All right, Vic, you're up.
You hear me?
I sort of. I can hear now.
Right,
so.
What the? I'm giving it a 1. I gave it a 1.
Wow, you guys went higher than me. That's fucking crazy.
Yes, sir.
Vic, what are your thoughts on it? As long as we can hear you.
I thought I hated my life for watching it. I watched it twice and dozed off both times.
It's bad. It's bad.
I remember the Twilight Zone being. I hated it, but
all right.
I don't never give anything less than a 1. I had to go.
All right, fair enough. I will say that we can only go up from here. no matter what you think about the next couple episodes, we can only go up. Let's find out.